Okay, it's 9:01. Let's get this started. Kicking off the first session of the text mining practicum. Thanks for coming. My name is Aaron Cambry, and I'm your chief torturer for this entire 5-class session. And to be clear, this is a 5-class session. We meet for 5 consecutive Fridays, except for the Fridays of spring break and Good Friday. So you have two weeks where you have a break between sessions. So here is the agenda for session 1. We'll go over a little bit of introduction and purpose of the class. Then we are going to install R in RStudio together. It can be a little bit tricky, but we'll work through it. Then we'll go over the very basics of R and RStudio, some essential knowledge I think you need to have to be successful with the basics. And then we'll get to the fun stuff, which is text mining with R is the online textbook we're going to use. And when the class is done later today or over the weekend, I'll email you a link to the textbook, although you can easily Google it. And today's goal is to go over chapter 1, which is called the tidy text format. And during chapter 1, we're going to download some text or some classic books and do some basic word analysis on them. So you'll be surprised at how much we can get done in one class, or hopefully. Okay, what I'd like you to do though is to start downloading R and RStudio. Why do I have this here? Well, just start downloading it if you can, but don't worry, in a few minutes I'll guide you through the downloads. It's just if you are ready to download it now, download the software for your computer and we'll worry about it later. I say that because I think everyone's competing against 1 or 2 Wi-Fi access points in this room. So if everyone's downloading all at the same time, it can be a little bit slow. But if it's confusing, don't worry, I'll guide you through it in a few minutes. So course and teaching parameters. The course objectives, the course objective mainly is to help you be a little bit more familiar with some of the basics of text mining. That's the focus of this course. However, the stuff you learn in this course is pretty broadly applicable. I'll show you some things I have done that you could potentially do with a little bit of self-improvement past what is in the course. Now, what is not an objective is you're not going to come out of this class being a deep expert in R or text mining. That would take multiple 3-hour, 4-credit courses to develop that, but I'm trying to give you a foundation so that you become interested in this and you realize, hey, here's the possibilities I have, and then you can use other online textbooks or resources to extend your abilities in this. Also, this course doesn't really go deep into the theory behind text mining or into statistics or mathematics or economics. It's more of a survey of the tools that can be used with text mining and some related disciplines. I should say it's more than actually text mining. We're going to go over visualizations at one point, and we're also going to go over how to wrangle data. So there's a lot of topics that you need to know that are appropriate for text mining, but can be easily extended to other fields. The format of each course, this course will have a little bit more lecturing than usual just because I need to go over some basics of R. However, for most of the courses, what I prefer to do is you will have a big R file open and we'll just both work through it together in an interactive way. Interruptions, so I don't want to leave this course with you being confused about stuff. So please interrupt me, stop me if I am not making sense and make me explain it. So if I am confusing you, that's my problem and I need you to help me fix that by stopping me. And the last is group help. I plan to send out a link after class to Microsoft Teams. And if you click on that link, it will allow you to open up it will create a team in Microsoft Teams for you. If you haven't heard of Microsoft Teams, just a second. Has anyone heard of Slack? Okay, so Microsoft Teams is Microsoft's version of Slack. So Slack has multiple teams, Microsoft Teams has multiple teams. I do something similar to this in my Eco 5380 class, where I have a team set up where people can ask questions or get help on stuff. So I will create a team for this text mining practicum and give you a link where you may add yourself to it if you'd like. And the point is, if you want help on stuff, the best way to get help is to ask people over this team. If I'm not available, someone else may be able to pipe in. But the good thing is everyone can see the questions and answers on this. What is, there we go, okay. And I'm using a Surface, so hopefully my Surface Pen clicker will work. Yes, okay. So who am I? I'm Aaron Cambry. I'm the director of the Web Application Services team in OIT. The best way to explain that is we are the nerdy side behind SMU's public websites or marketing websites like www.smu.edu. We're the nerd power behind it. So if it's broken, they're yelling at us. And if it's ugly, they're yelling at Division of External Affairs. And there's some mixed responsibilities in between that all, but that's the high level breakdown. I'm also the adjunct lecturer of data science for the Department of Economics. If you haven't heard that term, adjunct lecturer means you're contracted to teach a course. So I teach one graduate course a year for the Department of Economics. But the funny thing is my background is with the Weill School of Engineering and Computer Science. So I'm a computer nerd teaching a course that's kind of computer science-ish through the Department of Economics. But the point of that course is the economics professors kind of got sick of teaching the basics of R and text mining. So I'm handling that so that when the students get into the economics courses, then they're prepared to start performing within the subject matter area. And it's a similar concept for here. I'm helping you with some of the basics so that if you'd like, you can extend on that and apply this knowledge to whatever your fields are. My education, it just says I'm pretty nerdy, but I have 4 degrees from SMU. My wife has 3, so we have like 7 SMU degrees between us. It's just ridiculous at our house. And how I got into data science? I got into data science initially. Of course, my computer science coursework did cover some of the foundations of data science, but I really got deep into it for my dissertation on my doctorate. And I'll show you some visualizations from it earlier, but I'll show you some, I'm speaking too quickly. I will show you some visualizations for it a little bit later, but my doctorate, I got a bunch of data on traffic ticket writing and crashes. And I was trying to determine, can I prove that there is some kind of relationship between ticket writing and crashes? And the result was, the model looks good, but I can't discern any relationship. I could discern some obvious relationships, like more traffic means more crashes, so the model seemed sound, but I had no way of discerning. I could not detect that roads become any safer because more traffic tickets are written.